Hello gunners, welcome to another video. And I mean, Real Madrid, they're just at it again. I made a video yesterday talking about the fear tactics, the intimidation tactics that they're trying, and I'm telling you, even after I posted that video, more came. We've also got Chelsea fans being asked a question about whether they would drop their chances of winning, getting into the top 5 if Arsenal didn't win the Champions League. So we're going to look at their responses. But before I begin, if you are new here, please hit the subscribe and the like as well. It will be greatly appreciated. But let us start here. So for context, Chelsea fans were asked, would you give up a top 5 place to play in the Champions League next season if Arsenal didn't win the Champions League? So let's just have a listen to what...
Would you give up a Champions League spot if it meant Arsenal don't win the Champions League this year?
I would. I hate them.
I'll go on a trophy drought.
I'll go on a trophy drought for a minute just to see Arsenal in the mud.
100%.
I'd absolutely agree. I'd hate to see Arsenal in the Champions League. They had one game against Madrid. You're looking at the rest of it, it's shocking. I honestly back Madrid to either make a comeback or
Real Madrid, 2-0 half-time if you're a gambling person, 4-2 in 90 minutes.
Thing is, we have 2 Champions Leagues, isn't it? But I'm very greedy, so yeah, I think I would give up a Champions League spot. Yeah, they don't need to win nothing. Because Chelsea are the only team in London with a European Cup, man. Sorry.
Yes, I would. I don't think I could take it if Arsenal won the Champions League. I'm sorry, but it's just painful. Oh, you know, like
We're the pride of Europe within London, and 100%.
Arsenal. I can't stand Arsenal.
Can't have Arsenal winning the Champions League.
Why?
I can't have that, man. I know too many Arsenal fans.
With the pride of London, then proceeds to say, I wouldn't want Arsenal to get and win the Champions League. How can a fan base be so insecure? Chelsea are like that team where, you know, we talked about Tottenham before about being the little brother. Chelsea are like the uncle or, the stepbrother maybe, who's just always there. Always there. Like, nobody has ever said anything to you. No Arsenal fan really cares about Chelsea like that. Do we? We just see them as an oil club, getting all the money, getting spoiled by your own mother, like if they were your stepbrother. That is what is going on. It really is. Because why do they so want to see us not get the Champions League and give up the fact they won't be playing in Europe next season in the Champions League? It is ridiculous. And to correct the guy that said, be a betting man, say 4-2 in 90 minutes. If Real Madrid beat Arsenal 4-2, we will still win and go through 5-4 on aggregate. Pretty much sums up the brain cells of every single Chelsea fan. I was so shocked to see that 8 of them, all 8 people that were asked, would prefer Arsenal not to win the Champions League and Chelsea not to get into the top 5. I mean, that is just small club mentality. Let me know your thoughts on that. But for me, that is just small club mentality. Now let us get on to the main talking point. Real Madrid, Florentino Perez, the intimidation tactics, that Arsenal will go extinct. So let's just have a read of this. I'm going to read it out. Real Madrid have released a video on their official website ahead of the Arsenal game titled The Santiago Bernabeu One More Time. It goes, I'm going to show them a world without borders or boundaries. As a Christian, that sounds absolutely crazy. Even if you're not religious, that just sounds mad. A world where anything is possible. I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you how this will end. I came here to tell you how it will begin. Your kind is heading for extinction. Your kind is heading for extinction. Maybe so, sir, but not today. My word, never in my whole life. I've seen Real Madrid losing in a first leg against many top teams. And I have never, ever seen them go to these lengths or these reports coming out. The fact that they have put this through to sources, to put it out on the internet, to make the Arsenal players feel scared, to make the fans feel worried. To me, I'm just thinking this is just goofy. This is just your kind is heading for extinction. What? I have massive respect for Real Madrid. 15 UEFA Champions Leagues. But they're so weird. They're really weird. You know, if you would ask me last season or even before we played Real Madrid, who would I support outside of Arsenal? It would always be Real Madrid. I've always liked Real Madrid. But playing them has made me see how insecure of a club they are. You're heading for extinction. We'll show you a world with no boundaries or borders. What? Yes, you can keep this in-house. Why does this have to come out? I mean, it really does shock me. Then we've got this again. I made a video yesterday about Real Madrid and Rudiger and them saying Saliba will come. A minute after that video was published online, this comes out. William Saliba is Real Madrid's most prominent name for the centre-back position. The club has maintained contact with him and his agents. Groundwork for a potential opportunity being done for either 2026 or 2027 as a free agent. Again, why? 2 days before the Champions League game, You're trying to fearmonger us, trying to fear Arsenal fans, trying to rattle Saliba's feathers. They're doing every dirty, dark art in the book. And I'm sure by now, maybe at the start, Arsenal players are thinking, ooh, now I'm sure they're like, these guys are doing way too much. Because that's how I feel as a fan. I'm sure you guys watching as well, you feel like that as well. It's just being goofy, Real Madrid. You're just saying stuff. You're just saying anything at this point. It, for me, is ridiculous. Then we've got this. Real Madrid have finished the work on the Bernabeu light show. It could be in Villed versus Arsenal. Why do we need to know that? It is customary for every team to have a light show. They're making it out like this is revolutionary. That Real Madrid are pulling all the big guns out, everything, against Arsenal. And Arsenal, they're going to be claustrophobicized. They're closing the roof as well. I saw something about Real Madrid going to try and close the Bernabeu roof as a way to enclose Arsenal and make them feel small and scared. What? What? We plan to close the roof of a stadium to make Arsenal feel tiny and scared. And I saw an Arsenal fan comment on this saying, well, rice cooks better with the lid closed. And I think that's the coldest thing I've ever heard. Rice cooks better when the lid is closed. So, Bernabeu, close your lid. We don't care. We don't care. You're trying every trick in the book. And we're just going to go through it because we're Arsenal. We had no fear in the first leg, so why are we going to have even more fear? Then we've got reports like this. Real Madrid coaching staff are clinging on to Aurelien Tchouameni and Dani Ceballos for the comeback. Carlo Ancelotti trusts them to overcome Arsenal. Imagine telling an Arsenal fan in, 2019, that the guy Dani Ceballos we had in our midfield, who probably had 2 good games, his debut against Burnley and the FA Cup final, that he would be the key, the messiah to unlocking Arsenal. I mean, no disrespect to any of these 2 players, but again, it's Real Madrid being insecure, essentially saying the only reason Arsenal could beat us is because we didn't have Ceballos and Tchouameni who were suspended. So now we can overcome them because these 2 great players are back in. Just accept the defeat, don't need to post all this PR, and move on. I just want this second leg done. I never want to see Real Madrid in a Champions League game again. Not because I'm scared of them or think they're so good, but because they act so weird. Even reports like this coming out. Carlo Ancelotti had a 10-minute talk with the players and asked for commitment and extra effort versus Arsenal. I'd hope so. 3-0 down, you're going to need a lot of extra effort. If they overturn this, they would need that extra effort. But why do we need to know? He was assertive and ended up raising his tone. So the Arsenal players are meant to go on social media and be like, oh my days, Ancelotti has just raised his tone to the Real Madrid players and talked for 10 minutes. We need to be absolutely scared right now. We need to run away. We need to hide under our beds. We need to shiver, bite our fingernails. It's just getting ridiculous now. It really, really is. Real Madrid have gone to some ridiculous lengths to try and ruffle our feathers. And they may do the remontada. I really don't think they will. This is why I'm posting videos. This is why I'm confident. And as an Arsenal fan, you should feel confident as well. But we must also recognise this is the Real Madrid we're playing. A team who all week has tried any tactic under the sun to ruffle our feathers. They really have. But, I mean, one consolidation is we have the support of the Atletico Madrid fans and the Barcelona fans. Just look at this Barcelona fan with a Declan Rice shirt. Just have a listen to this. It's absolutely brilliant. Absolutely love that from Barcelona. And to be honest, I always used to prefer Real Madrid, like I've said. But that's just brilliant, And we even have this Atletico Madrid fan holding an Arsenal scarf at the Metropolitano. At least there's only 2 sets of fans that are supporting us. Atletico Madrid fans, Barcelona fans. Everybody else wants to see Real Madrid do the remontada. They're doing every trick in the book for it. But I'm sure Mikel Arteta's Arsenal are going to be ready. And you guys need to be confident. You need to be. I don't want to see comments where people are like, oh, you're jumping the gun. Why are you posting this? What is it? No, we're Arsenal. We're going to go there. We're confident. We are going through at the Bernabeu. And we're going to show Real Madrid none of their intimidation tactics worked. But anyway, guys, that's it for now. Hope you have enjoyed. And until next time.